Hi everyone, hope you're all doing good. There are some good news, hopefully, and that there are some new changes that I need to talk to you about Helium. If you guys have any questions regarding your performance, which is probably something that everyone is talking about right now. I think the lights is not helping. Let me just put down the curtain. So there are some stuff that that are getting changed in the Helium. Some of them are good, I would say, but in general, the people that are just new to Helium and they don't know the structure of Helium, what's the purpose of the Helium network, they would kind of freak out a little bit. So I don't know how many of you guys know what's exactly going on with Helium, but ideally what's going to happen is the number of tokens will drop significantly in the next few months. Now, that does not mean that's the end, which I always emphasize in my previous videos, that if you understand the structure, which is probably the most important segment of that structure, that the community owns this network. So if the community is not going to make money, which a lot of people are fighting, that means we will be able to create new HIPs, and the new HIPs stands for Helium Improvement Processes. So we can restructure it. Now, that would be assuming that the Helium will not get attraction. So in general, what you're looking at is how many dollars you make a day or in a month. And some of you would say, hey, I'm making 0.03 HMTs, that's nothing. Well, if you're gonna keep looking at it that way, I'm sure you would fund. And the structure is how much the HNT will be worth. Now, this article just came out today, and the reason I wanted to share with you, because I want to give you kind of to rest you about the future of Helium. I'm not worried about Helium at all, because I see the value that it brings. And that's something a lot of people that created that FOMO, I made $5,000 a day and it brought all of us into this network. And now we're making nothing. So I think that's the majority, how they think. But there's something maybe you don't know, that you're going to be earned more from IoTs. Not more, but there's another income stream coming from IoTs, because IoTs will be using the network. And if these IoTs goes under your Helium hotspot, that means you're using your tower, using your whatever it is, your hotspot. That means they pay you for that service because it's the proof of coverage. Now, the good news here. Hi, Miguel. Notice that the transmit scale of the hotspot around me in Ottawa is decreasing nearly daily. Well, yes, Miguel. When my hotspot came online last week, it started from 0.5, but today it's down 0.5. I checked hotspots around the area, and most you can see it drops in the transmit scale. Well, this is there's a new solution for this, which is called POC11, which is proof of coverage. And if you look up this, there's something called hexes. So a hex it's actually a hex. So there's a small hex, which is number 10. And you can check this at app. I can actually show you right now. We have app.hotspotty.net. So if I click on any of them right here, you're going to see the reward scaling. You click on it, and you're going to see here on the bottom left, we have resolution 10. These are the hexes, and these are translating what the HIP 17 and 15. I don't want to be technical because that's not what you're here for. You want like easy solutions, easy answers. So basically, what if you click on the resolution 10, 9, and 8, and all the way to 4, the hex goes bigger. So number 4, if we click on it, you're going to see the hex covering almost half of Ottawa or Gatineau, or probably more. You can see this is the hex. This is the biggest hex. Now, the purpose of Helium is to have, like, from here, that's actually the purpose of the network, is to have complete network coverage. So the IoT, just think about it. If you have a tracker for a truck that's traveling from the east to the west, it needs to have coverage for you to track it. So now this is the big hex. Like, look, this hex, it's still very, very not saturated because it's not occupied by a lot of humans. So this hex, you're going to say, this is going to affect me. Yes, it doesn't have the same effect like the small hex. So if we go down here, if I click on hex number 10, let me get it here. So this is number 4. See, this is the blue one. This is the 4. So it covers all the way. I don't know why. Let me just. So the smallest hex, which is resolution 10, right here. This is the smallest hex. This is what you should be worried a little bit about, because this hex, you don't need more than 4 up to like 6, 7. After 4, you all share the same reward, because just think about it. If the IoT is going under this hex, and you guys are providing a network, so you're letting this scooter to send signal through your hotspot. So if we have more than 4, that means there's no need. 4 is enough. So if you have 10 or 20, like New York, Manhattan, you're all providing the same service for no purpose. That's why we need you to come out. Now, I would assume this will change in the future, because if there are so many scooters in here and other devices that use IoTs, therefore, we might be able to increase the number of hotspots in this hex. It depends on the traffic. Just think about it like towers. Like, there will be so many towers in downtown Manhattan and versus the ones in Ottawa, because there are so many usage and uses inside small area, versus I have 1 million population in all of Ottawa, while I have probably 5 million or 2 million, I don't know the number, in just Manhattan. So the transmitter cannot go far, versus I can serve the utility, right? The use. There's so much use and demand on this really small area. So that's how we're going to think. And again, guys, a lot of people get discouraged about what's going on. And I already said it in one of my videos that Helium and MXC, they're starting this from scratch. There's no previous project papers that they can rely on to see what are the risks they would be facing. And this is what the POC11 might increase your rewards. And we'll be discussing this. Hi, Natalie. Thank you. Well, I just want to educate people, because a lot of people are, we have 50,000 hotspots deployed in the past 30 days. That means, what, around 40 to 45,000 new people coming into this network. Now, a lot of people go to the Discord and they ask the same questions, which is fine. It's your right. That's absolutely right. And we had a discussion in the Discord a few days ago that the Helium team trying to work their butt off to fix all the new crazy stuff going, because deploying so many hotspots onto the network needs close supervision, because you don't know what's going to happen, and you don't want the network to collapse, to face some issues, securities. There's so many stuff, and they are understaffed, and they think that there's one problem with engineers, because I'm an engineer, so I understand the problem. The community inside Helium, especially the techie guys, are extremely technical and extremely smart. But they have that thing called curse of knowledge, which is they assume that you know something, which I debated that, because a lot of people came into the Helium network for just the passive income, a plug and play, and I just want to get some coins and tokens. But they don't have the technical background. And they think, the Helium, that you guys need to educate yourself, which I disagree, because what if you're 17 years old? What if you don't speak English? There are so many elements that can make your journey not, as you thought. Which now I'm participating more in the Discord. I'm trying to answer so many questions, but I think if we come in here and just discuss all these questions, then we'll understand. But one of the videos I'm working right now is if I educate people of how the system will work with no tech background. If you know how it works, then it will give you a clear idea whether should you buy more Helium Hotspot, whether maybe not. But if you understand how it works, so the network, understanding how the network works is important. And something that not a lot of people talk about, which is data credits. And this is what brings me to this article which just was released today, that SENET announcing Helium roaming partnership with SENET to connect billions of IoT devices. Remember, if you're in your hex, an IoT passes by and uses your hotspot to send a signal, receive a signal, they pay this IoT device, they pay Helium for the service. And Helium is not the company, it's our company, it's our network. And this is another thing that a lot of people not digesting this as they're supposed to. So if they're paying us for the network, but specifically in your case, because they used your Helium hotspot and they used your internet to send and receive that signal, therefore you get a share of this. So you're gonna have two streams of income. One stream proof of coverage, which is decreasing. And this was expected. This is not a lie. This is one of my first videos. We talked that your income from Helium for the coverage side will decrease. But once the IoTs come in, which is this article, this is signed, this is ready, the partnership is there. We're talking about billions of IoT devices will be coming. And that's where the new mainstream of income will come. So not a lot of people cover this. I don't know why they forgot about it or whatever it is. Who cares? We're here to help each other. It's not we're saying they're wrong or whatever. But like I said, the curse of knowledge can jump in and not help. So let me see if you guys have any questions. Okay, they're fine. Now, this is one part. So in terms of a new stream of income coming in, it's coming. This is signed. This was just published for like today or yesterday. So it's probably very good. The income will be coming more to the US, maybe Canada, I'm not sure, but they're talking about 29 states, as you can see here. I put the link to this article in the bottom now. There is something called POC11, which is proof of coverage number 11. Before I talk about it, you need to understand this and digest it. Once there are new HEPs, once there are new POCs, which is proof of coverage, once they publish it, we don't know the effect of this change on the network, on the income, because it's a test and trial and error. Therefore, if it doesn't work out, because whatever I'm going to tell you, it's weird and different. So if it doesn't work out, doesn't mean that's the end. If it works out, that's good. If it doesn't work out, they can downgrade and go back to POC10, which we have today. But it's not the end. And that's what gives Helium the kind of flexibility. Sorry. And one thing that I need you to put this in your head, POCs and HIPs are made by the community and not by the company. So if us as a community, we get hurt and we all lose, making money from this, we own this network. So we're going to change it to suit us better. That's as simple as it is. So if the POC11, which I'm going to talk about in a few minutes, if you guys do not like it because in your case you get hurt, that doesn't mean that's the end, because we can discuss if it's going to hurt everybody, definitely would be changed. But we have to launch it, test it, see the impact, and then, well, does it need alterations? Does it need to be canceled? Do we need to go back to downgrade? Where did you get the date for the POC? Okay, so one thing, if you are totally new here, I highly recommend that you join discord.com and look for the Helium. It has different levels of entry. So you want to talk about hotspot issues. You want to talk about POC. So I'm clicking on it. Oh, okay, so you come here. So this is in POC. If you look Helium Hotspot on the left, if you go to the network, you're going to find it. It looks like this. It's the blue one right here, official Helium community. And on the left side here, you pick your topic. So there's announcements, there's validators announcements, there's general, hacks, happy hour, hotspot issues, memes, questions and answers, depends on your topic. So this is for your to answer you, Zonda, I think. I'm not wearing my glasses, I apologize. But for you, you're gonna go down here and look for POC. So POC discussion. So you're gonna come here, if you don't wanna discuss anything, but you wanna see the latest, on your phone, you're gonna click on the top right on this little guy, and it will open the pinned messages. And this is called pinned messages. That means whatever is announced and you wanna be seeing the latest messages on this topic, you come to the pinned messages. You click on it and you're gonna see it here. And you're gonna read it. So Tim from Long AP, he did a quick analysis of what's the impact of the POC11. So I'm gonna read it really quick. So if you guys wanna go check it out yourself. But basically what you're gonna need to do, because I know a lot of people don't have the time and you don't have the technical or whatever. So technically, once you register your hotspot, you found that place where you click on your hotspot and there's the settings. And on that settings, you can change and update your antenna, right? So you can put 30 meters and 1.2 dpi. Now that's the standard. Now what they're saying is, we need to know exactly the number of your, how strong your DPI is, so we can give you what you deserve. So that's something you need to do. You need to click on that and update the height should not be, should be an estimate. It doesn't have to be exact. But the antenna, if you're using something like 5.8 or a rack or whatever, you need to enter the right one. So that's one thing to consider. Another thing that you will be facing, most likely, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but most likely. Now, once they do updates, and that happened in the past 2-3 weeks, once they do updates, the Helium network or the firmware or of your hotspot, that means you're going to see a drop in your rewards, because the system needs to update, whether it's from Helium or the hotspot. Or sometimes the Helium deploys new like updates, and then these guys from Bobcat and all these hotspots need to adjust their firmware to the new adjustments coming from Helium Hotspot, if that makes any sense. I'm going to need my glasses for this. Okay, just give me a second. Question: I've had my hotspot fancy mustard monkey set up for about a month now. I've spent the last 2 weeks trying to solve this issue. I've yet to be able to witness. Okay. For some reason, I don't see your name. No? Was it? Yes? Oh, that's your name. Yes. Okay, yes. Just, what is it? Fancy mustard monkey. If you guys need me to review any of your hotspot, if you can send me the name and what kind of hotspot do you have, and the antenna size. So we need to go. Okay, Helium. Fancy mustard monkey. Although you got a nice name. I was trying to. Yes, I was trying to help somebody yesterday, and I found an unusual issue. There's a relationship between the pipeline. So you have your router, you need to connect it to your Helium hotspot. Then from Helium hotspot, you need to connect it to your antenna, and from your antenna, it needs to connect to the Helium network and does the witness and witnesses and beacons and all that stuff. Now, what we found that his IP address in his diagnosis in the Helium app is different from the one in his router. And apparently, they were not connected. It looked like it was connected, but it wasn't. So you need to reset, unplug. We did that yesterday, and he messaged me at 12 midnight saying it worked. So to make sure your antenna socket is connected correctly to the hotspot, if you change the antenna, check the connector is correct. Yes, Miguel, that's so fancy mustard monkey. So yes, if I'm not in relay port forwarding is set up with enable DMZ last week, but none have seemed to solve the issue. Any suggestions what next would be? Okay, yes. You have to see where it's stuck in the pipeline. Most likely, if your antenna, let's put it this way, if your antenna and your setup was working for a few days, then it stopped, and there's nothing wrong. You're sure that everything was working fine. From what I've seen yesterday, from the person I was helping out, if this setup was working well, then you need to see where the rest of the pipeline have problems. Now, it's most likely between your router and your hotspot. I would say 99%. If the rest you haven't changed or touched. So you need to look that. So if you're using, for example, SenseCap, then you need to connect to something called dashboard. If you're totally new to this. So every hotspot has its own dashboards. Now the Helium app is for the Helium kind of dashboard. So it's not for the hotspot. It is for the hotspot, but not the dashboard of your hotspot, how it's performing. So for SenseCap, there is something called status.sensecap.cloud. And for Bobcat miners, there is, you get your Bobcat IP from your router and paste it in your browser. It will give you access to your dashboard, and you can do resyncing or fast syncing. So, okay. Okay, now we have an issue. I've seen this in the Discord a few hours ago. It does not show it. So let me try the app.hotspotty. I hope it will let us see it. Fancy mustard monkey. Okay, excellent. One hotspot, zero valid beacons, 7 invalid beacons. So, yes, guys, I would go to, before I forget, your project, the app should be completed for all stages. I've seen a huge difference in one of my hotspots when I set my, I don't know if you can see it here, but if you guys change the antenna setup in your Helium app, it's going to cost you 55 cents. I think if it's the first time, it will cost you nothing. And it will help you out. I don't know if it worked for me, but this will help out by the October 4th. So you need to do that. So you look good. So in metric distance, so invalid witness, all witnesses. Okay. Yes, let me tell you this. If you try to check right now, what's the firmware or software date on your hotspot? Check it if it's updated. If not, then just message me here. Also, this is progress, and the app should be completed. Also, you can check it in the Helium app. Okay, so you have the latest. So now we need to diagnose this pipeline, right? So now the router is talking very well with the Helium hotspot because it did update it. So what you need to do is check the performance of your hotspot, and that you can check by checking your dashboard. So I'm going to show you mine. I don't have the Bobcat miner here, but I have my SenseCap. So in SenseCap, it's status SenseCap. If you don't know, you need to register. So here, it kind of gives me the hotspot, the dashboard, and if I check here, it's online 100%, it's 100% synced, it's not relayed. So and now, if you remember the pipeline, the internet, then the router, and the router to your hotspot, and from your hotspot to your antenna, and from the antenna to your network. This is the pipeline. So now it's telling me there's nothing wrong here, and it's 100% online, it's 100% synced, so I'm good to go. So I can check here, you can see status online, synced, relayed, and the health is 100%. Another thing that I remember right now, try to make your hotspot away from the sun, because if it heats up, and the sun and the heater, so if it's if the sun can see your hotspot, then try to put it away from direct sun heat, because if it heats up, that means it will not perform as it should be. So that's something that you should be looking at. So so if you guys want to hear about the POC11, which is, I think a lot of people, there's POC11 and the new updates about antennas. Now, where did it go? Here. So the POC10, which is what we're running right now, assumes, like we said, it's pre-done for you, a 1.2 DPI antenna on both transmitter and receiver of the beacon. Obviously, this is not true because you might be using 2.6, 3, or whatever. So the beacon signals are witnessed too strong because the 3 DPI or higher gain antennas result in higher RSSIs. The result is invalid witness. right? Because of the strength of the signal. The beacons are transmitted at the legal transmission level. Now, this is going to hurt people in the EU who have upgraded their antennas. Now, the RF signals are free to use, but to a certain limit. In the EU, it's very, very strict. In the US, just to answer your questions really quick, up to 9 dpi in the US, you're free to use. Now, I don't know what is going to be. Now, they're saying if you're using, for example, 12 or 15 dpi, they will decrease the power of your DPI, I think, centrally. So the system will decrease its powers because you don't want to violate the regulations in your country. Now, each country is different. Maybe even states are different. So you have to put that in mind. Now, EU have the most strictest rules there. So if you have anything more than, I think, 3 dpi in the EU, you will be decreased. And I don't know how to explain this in 2-3 sentences, but they're saying that if your hotspot is reaching 47 kilometers away, while there are some coverage that needs to be done on areas around you, but because you're using an omnidirectional antenna or like 12 dpi, you're overflowing the area around you, and that's what you need to do. You need to build that area around your hotspot. But also here, there are regulations from the governments, from the country that you live in. So that's something that they're saying that the POC11 would be fixing. So, and that you can fix it now by updating your antennas DPI and height. So here, if you read it, the beacons are transmitted at legal transmission levels, especially in the EU, because the actual installed antenna is not taken into account, right? So that's what you need to do. So please do it. So the POC version 11 fixes those issues. Actually, transmitter and receiver antenna gain, as asserted on the blockchain, are used to validate witnesses / beacons. The validation is done by calculating the free space path loss. Remember, you're going for 47 kilometers, and this is called free space path loss. It's a loss. And they're going to calculate it, what's called energy loss. Now, I think this will help that if you're a lone wolf and you want to connect to some like network that is far, they will see that this makes more sense because it's a lone wolf. So you cannot do better than that without cheating by misasserting location or antenna gain. Again, this will also challenge the people that are doing geospoofing. So if you're doing geospoofing, they're assuming that this will fix it. They will detect it, and you'll be getting 0 rewards. Output power is adjusted to reduce usually to stay legal with the antenna that's actually declared to be used. If a too low antenna gain is declared and is actually used, this is caught via 0.1. So we found out they will have an impact on life. So if you were technical, there are some good technical. Okay, there are no questions. So we have 2 things here. We have the SENET, which is amazing news for us as Helium users and community, and this will bring in more rewards. That's one part. And the second part is the POC11. And like I said, the antenna size I think, will be mandatory because we're using these RF signals and it is regulated in a lot of countries. So we need to have the proper signal. So you need to put the right one. Now, like I said, the US is 8 dpi, 9 dpi. European, I think, is 3 dpi, if I'm not mistaken. But we can give you updates on that. But I'm quite sure it's around these numbers. But the POC11, like I said in the beginning of the video, if it should actually impact on people that are doing geospoofing, and that means if they get less rewards, the people that are honest and they have a good location and they have everything, they will be able to earn these rewards on behalf of the ones that are cheating, if that makes any sense. So I just think this is just good for the network. And another problem that a lot of people I see in the Discord, people are fudding and they're like, this is not worth it. Make sure you understand how the antenna works. I'm gonna be making a new video for how to make a setup. Although I have some, I think, good videos, but I've seen people that they just place the antenna anywhere. I've seen people placing it in a table. They have placing it against windows where this windows have the mesh bugs or whatever for the bugs. And they're placing it and you have double windows. So you need to avoid all of this. The window has to be just normal. If you can take it externally, that's good. If not, then you need to make sure that it is at the highest level. Guys, and it's not hard. I put it, my Bobcat miner is a small one, and it's not attached to the hotspot. It has a wire, so I can hide my Bobcats behind the wall, and I take my antenna to the furthest point in my window, and I taped it. That's how simple it is. I don't need to reinvent something that's easy to just to fix. So Windows is your biggest enemy, and if you can find something to come around it, then that's what you need to do. Also, I don't know, because this is not working. The Helium Explorer is not working. So if we have this building and it's made of concrete, if I place it right at this point, right at the end, the transmitter of the RF signal from my hotspot will go all the way. But this building, because my signal will be hitting concrete all the way. By the time it leaves the building, it was showing me it did not reach over 100 meters or 200 meters. That was about it. While the others were reaching 5, 10 kilometers, 14 kilometers. But that's how bad these can do obstruction to your signal. Trees can do it. Buildings can do it. Concrete, a lot of stuff can just hurt your signal. So guys, unfortunately we cannot do review for the, let me check, I think I missed one. Yes, check, make sure. Cheesy bone crap. Cheesy bone. United Kingdom. On the side note, Natalie, you need to check the RF signals in the UK. And by the way, guys, if you join the Discord, and I highly recommend you do that, join discord.com. And if you come here, once you go, this is the Discord, and these are the sub channels that you have. If you come here, if you look around, you will find countries. So let's say UK. So if you're in the UK and you want to check some like RF signals regulations in the UK, so you come here and look for your country. See here, it's United Kingdom, because these are Helium community in United Kingdom. So it would be easy for you just to join this and ask them, hey, I live in the UK, what is the maximum antenna that I can get from my hotspot? So this way you can get a fast answer. So make sure you guys get involved with Discord, because a lot of you don't know that exists, which I don't blame you. What about power lines? Yeah, power lines will definitely have an impact. Now, depending on what kind of fault it has, and where's your, is it facing it face? So it's lower than the power line signals. That means it might pass because it goes with the line of sight, right? So if it's under it, but there's wave signals from the power lines that might affect it. So yes, that's big. So yes, but it's a trial and error. You don't know how it works. What about power lines? Yeah, Richard, yes, it will have definitely an impact. I was just thinking today that what if you're next to an army base and they're using their own RF signals, and would that interfere? So, like I said in the beginning, we are all in this testing things out. This Helium Hotspot project has never been implemented. So a project like this doesn't have a prior documents to relate to see how people overcame some risks. So we're going to see a lot of risk showing up, and that's why we need to give some space for the Helium technical team to make sure everything is steady, stable, secured, and us as community, we do our due diligence to help each other. Yes, Kevin, I totally agree. I think the way we're progressing, I'm a project manager, so the way I look how this is progressing, it's doing super fine. The only thing that I'm trying to do here is if 50,000 people deploy their hotspots and they don't have the technical issues, and they're going to go where? They're going to go to the Helium team. They don't see that there is a community. Like, I'm part of this community. I'm trying to help out as much as I can. I'm trying to go to the Discord and help out. And let these technical guys go and make sure that our project is working fine. And the more I try to educate my friends in here, the more they can help out as well. Like, maybe it'll be your neighbor next day, or your brother, or whoever. But it's a growing, healthy community, right? Yes, I totally agree with Richard and Kevin. And that's why I have my own thoughts about other projects. And that's why I don't like them as a project manager. I'm not saying they do not make you money. No, they do. But that's how I look at things. And now with today's SEC, it is something. If you guys don't know what's SEC, it's the regulatory system in the U.S. And they were talking about crypto, and there are some things that needs to be kind of regulated. Now, I'm not going to talk about a specific project because I don't want to harm other projects. But for me, it does not make sense that I create a token and a blockchain and I give people money or tokens and they can exchange it for money for no complete cycle. If there's no complete cycle, then there's no purpose. And that's what the SEC were saying. Hey, this cannot last for long. So Helium has a complete cycle. I'm doing proof of coverage. I'm paying you because you are doing your work and producing the coverage for the network. Fine, then what? Then this network is gonna make the IoTs function and utilize this network, and it will pay this network, and you'll get paid not only for the coverage now, but because they're using your Helium hotspot with your internet. And that's why I call complete economy. This makes sense. Other people that are, I don't want to name project, but people are going into and they're spending a lot of money, and it's not a complete economy. They're getting their tokens, but in exchange of data. Where's this data go? Who's buying this data? Nobody's telling you who's buying this data. And it doesn't make sense that they buy the same data. Nobody's going to buy the same data for the same whatever. It just doesn't make sense. And therefore, the crypto needs to be regulated. I don't like the governments to regulate the cryptos, but I was wishing that the crypto community control all of these projects that pump and dump and they show up and they disappear and they suck money's people. And there has to be some regulations, which is kind of good. Let me just check on. The purpose of him is to have the greatest coverage and the most efficient. Well, don't in the way while providing some events. Yes, Kevin. Yeah. So I always try to explain the purpose of this network, because if you understand how it works, then the FUD that people are saying and complaining, I'm only making 0.03, I'm not making that much, things will get fixed over time. Now, people in Manhattan, they're making, I think, 0.01 a month probably. But now we know that Manhattan will have the highest IoTs, because that's where, the businesses and all that stuff. So most likely the IoTs will be there. And now it's signed with SENET. So it's just about time just to launch it. And therefore, they'll be using your network, and therefore they'll pay you more, because you are in an area where there's a lot of traffic. And these traffic are IoTs. And IoTs are using your specific, they're using our network, but they're passing under your Helium hotspot. And therefore, you will get a share because you're providing this coverage, if that makes any sense. So now you're getting paid for coverage, and you will get paid for somebody using, or IoT using, your specific coverage, which is your Helium hotspot. So guys, relax, we're in good hands. We're gonna go through some pumps here and there. There's nothing to worry about. This is just the start. So there's something that you need to be aware, that when the new POC11 gets rolled out, you might see a drop in your Helium hotspot might stop, because it needs to update its firmware, and that might take a few hours. There will be no work done. So what you need to do, you need to get on the Discord and see if there's any updates, any fast solutions that you can do or implement. But if you need, there's one thing a lot of people don't know, there is a dashboard for your Helium hotspot that you need to have access to. And the way you access to is put the name of your Helium hotspot in the browser and put space and dashboard, and it should direct you to the right website. So guys, cheesy bone crap. Let me check on this really quick. So reroll scaling. Okay. Oh, you're a lone wolf. Let me check. Gainsborough. Okay. So you did fine, and then you dropped, and then dropped. This means that none of the rewards for winners are reduced to reward scaling. So you're doing fine. Okay, Richard, sorry, was driving. Thank you for responding. I have a wall of 5 power lines stacked on top of each other with about 2 feet in between them. Of course, they are in the direction of all the hotspots. Richard, did you earn anything? Did it pass? Because I know power lines is not a joke. I mean, they can, they're probably worse than concrete above my roof to get above them. Yeah, I would, with the new POC11, I think elevation is more important. Not I think, I'm sure. Elevation is more important than the power of your antenna. So because the DPI um, is not going to be something, depending on your country. If you're in the EU, you cannot go beyond 3 DPI. If you buy it, I don't think there's anything wrong, because I would assume the system in Helium will decrease the power of your antenna. So even if you have 5 DPI, which is fine, I don't think, or I'll update you on this because it has not rolled out. It will be October 4th. So that's one thing I have to go about. But elevation with the 3 DPI, you'll still get more access to hotspots if the line of sight is open. Now, in case of Richard, it cuts through them better when it's sideways. Well, I'll have to say the Bobcat Miner antenna is pretty awesome. Yeah, it's not bad at all. But elevation is the main key here. So if you guys don't know how to, I have searched. I'm in Ottawa, in Canada. I've seen few cities they offer complete setup of your Helium hotspot with the pole, with the wiring, and it doesn't cost that much. I think it was about 800, 900 Canadian, and they do all the professional work. But in terms of Richard, um, I would look. By the way, if you go to the Discord, Richard, there's one of the sub channels here. Where is it? I think it's called antennas. So that's what I like about the Discord. There is specific channel for each one of us. So now you have that issue. Would I invest and make it go on top of this, power lines? So you have Miguel Microwave, not Miguel, sorry. It's in here. Quite sure. See here, hotspots, antennas. So you go there, and you're gonna find some crazy technical people. And if you draw what you're anticipating to do, just show them a picture of the grid, the power line grid, and show them where's yours. They will give you like great answers, like just directly to your question. So in case you don't want to do the investment first, you want to ask these guys, they will give you the answer, and therefore it just saves you the money. They will tell you it might work. They will even give you maybe a better solution for this. So Richard, I highly recommend that you join the Discord. It's going to be very useful. It's again, discord.com, and look for the official Helium community, and it looks like this, the blue one right here. So if you guys are from UK, Germany, India, whatever, you look for the country, the channel which is under the Helium, and look for the country if you have questions about the effect of the POC11 on your antenna. And if you're in the UK, I know the UK everything is strict, so I had assumed that they have they're gonna have some regulatories there. So in case the updates will come in a few days, if it stops mining, your Helium hotspots stop mining, there's nothing wrong in the system. The system will automatically update itself. Now, the faster you get back on the blockchain is better for you. And to do that will be through the dashboard of your Helium hotspot, not the Helium app. The Helium dashboard, hotspot dashboard. And again, if you're new here, you can just follow the Discord or just subscribe to me and ask me questions. I have a Telegram group that I try to answer quicker questions. If you have extreme technical questions like Richard, the Discord is probably your best bet. They're beautiful people there. They try to help as much as they can. And we're a community, by the way. We don't look at this as I'm better than anyone. So if you guys are extremely technical, I recommend that you follow Agent Tech. He likes to explain things technical. I don't see that I don't know. I've seen the people that I talk to and subscribe to the channel. They want solutions without getting involved with the technicalities, because they're not IT, or they're not engineers, or they don't have the time. They're like, okay, just show me how to get the right answer for my problem. And that's what my channel's for, is just to make sure that you guys just fast track kind of thing, because I don't think a lot of people wants to understand how relayed is, how it works, and what makes it, how does it show up. But I think that what matters is how to fix it and move on with your life, right? So I'm gonna wrap things up if there are no questions. Just to recap on what we're covering today. First of all, the good news is SENET announcing helium roaming partnership with SENET to connect billions of IoT devices. So the IoT devices, if you're new here, IoT devices will use the Helium network. And if this IoT device passes under your Helium hotspot and sends a signal and receives a signal, then you will get some new income besides the proof of coverage. I don't get really the rewards in the future. So as the data credits is supposed to be cheap from the IoT, yes, I think it's 10th, like 1 to 10,000. So 55,000 the DC credits will get you pay like 55 cents. So you multiply by 10,000. Now, when you think about scaling, like think about if you're in Manhattan and you have billions of IoTs sending signals now, different IoTs will use different. So there's constant tracking. There is, for example, you want to turn off and on, that will be just one signal. But if you want to do asset tracking, then there will be a lot. It's small in packets, but we're talking volume. So if you're going to make maybe by next year 100 to 200,000 like an hour, that's like $1. I would not say no. I mean, most likely like 55 to 100,000 a day. So that's like $1, and then $30. But you will see increase of number of IoTs, and this is standard. So the increase will be coming. The number of IoTs will just be increasing. Now this is coming. Google is coming. Everyone is coming into the game of IoTs. So there'll be. So if you own a tower, consider Helium as a tower, and somebody with a GSM phone, mobile phone, comes under your tower and sends and receives signals from your tower. Now, because it's using your tower, now Helium will get a share, and you will get share for using your tower. That's basically it. That's what's the DC credits, and you'll be getting your share from the coverage. Yeah, so guys, this is really good news. So this is one POC11. It's basically, you have to do, if you haven't watched this yet, you have to go to your Helium app, and you have to click on your hotspot, and then there is the settings. Click on that, and then update antenna. So you're going to put the real DPI that you're using today, and put the estimate height of your antenna. This has increased my Bobcat Miner rewards. I don't know if it's because of this or more witnesses. I've not checked, but it has increased it substantially. Now, it's supposed to be working on October 4th. By then, you would need to do this anyways. So might as well just try it today, see if it's going to help, because why not? So guys, if you guys have any questions, if you guys want me to do more of these, if you want me to do different timing, just tell me, put in the comments. I'll be more than happy. I'd like to think of us as members of this community. We are the members of this community. This network is our network, and that's how we think the proper and healthy way to make this work. So I try my best to help out. I think the Discord is time consuming for me because I'm answering the same question over and over, which is fine. I don't see that's a problem. It's just I'm planning to do a welcome guide for newbies that have no technical background and they want to understand this. So I'll be working on this project. It's a video, it's not a project, but doing videos for me is like worse than projects, by the way. It's not that easy. It's easy for a lot of people. It's not easy for me. So guys, if you want me to cover anything else or you have any questions, I can talk about cryptos, anything about crypto if you guys want. Just stay away from things that are known as scams or don't have a complete cycle. Sooner or later, they will be cracked down, either by governments or by the crypto community. But I think it's about time that this pump and dump and all that BS is just hurting the real vision of the crypto world. So somebody sent me a Telegram message. How's this different than MXC? MXC is a wonderful device and is way more powerful than Helium. But I have issues with MXCs. First of all, it's very centralized. That means the community have no say. Once you get used to Helium, it's really hard to understand how they work. Now, they have a community, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say it's rubbish. No, I'm not saying any of that stuff. But our community, we're the ones who come up with the changes, not dictated by Helium company. We are the one who we propose, and we're the ones who vote, and we're the ones who test, and then we say we made the right decision or we made the wrong decision. And we're protected by smart, intellectual, high level in terms of security, safety, technical, IT, you name it. Well, in MXC, they propose, they issue, and they test. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's not something that I liked. And the reason I canceled my order with them, it's when they announced the fuel without discussing it with us. And that was an issue, but still, that's not a problem. Now, MXC might face a problem now. Their device is way more sophisticated than the Helium. And one thing they have is the 20-kilometer antenna. Now, this is an issue now that we have surfaced we have faced actually the problems now with using RF signals. There are government and countries regulations. Now, in Europe, you cannot use more than 3 dpi. I forgot what's the dpi of the MXC, but I would assume it's anywhere from 5 to 6, and that's against the regulation. How are they going to face that? What are they going to do? It's not going to be discussed with the community, just like they did with the fuel. They're just going to tell them, okay, now we're going to decrease your income. I don't know, maybe. So I have a hotspot next to me, doubling my rewards. What does that mean? Kevin, can you look at my hotspot for me? I have a hotspot next to me, doubling my rewards. Well, that's good news. It's doubling your rewards. Kevin, can you send me your hotspot? Well, this Explorer is not working. Just use the hotspot. Next to me, doubling. Oh, so he's making one long burlap mode. So are you this guy, Kevin, next to him? I would assume you're this guy, right? So, where's this? Is this a place I know? Cayman Islands. Remember the guy there? So, okay. So this guy is making 0.59. He's doing very well. Yes. You're more than welcome, Miguel. Thank you. By the way, guys, if you could do me a favor and try to, if you ever go to Discord and you see people that are asking non-technical questions, because and the common questions, you can just refer them to me so we can just take off that load off the technical team in Helium, if you guys feel like it. Okay, so let me just answer Kevin's question because you just want to know. Kevin, if this guy lives next to you, if I'm not mistaken, it looks like he's on top of a hill, or he is higher than you. This is something I need to talk to you about, the topography. And there is, I want to know which video. I would assume I have a video which I use RF Hotspot. It's an app that you can see the levels of topography. So let's say I'm here. This is my location, and this is this guy's location. And I put an antenna that I overcome. Let's say this is trees or whatever. It's an obstruction. So if I put an antenna so I can see you, then I get more rewards while you're down here, because I think if you're Breezy Castle, yeah, it looks like you're down next to the beach. So you're at the lower level. And this is called topography. So the RF signal, I need to see each other. It's line of sight. So if I'm here, and this guy is here, but this guy made sure that he put an antenna that he can see me. But now, because maybe he's on top of a hill, or not a hill, he's just a little bit higher than you, then he put an antenna right on top of it. Then he can see you and he can see the rest. So I'm not sure the topography of Cayman Island, but I know how islands are. Next to the beach is flat, and the deeper you go inside into the land area, it just pops up a little bit. So if he's at the top, he would see more. Now, unfortunately, Helium Explorer is not working. I would have seen his connection, but he's actually almost the same height. Actual turtle, if you get bored. But actually as high as stated. Well, do you know where he's placing his helium hotspot? So the only way he would have better than you are, he has stronger antenna and higher elevation. Or your antenna is not, if it's internally, then you need to tweak it. You need to put it higher as much as you can. By the way, I taped my antenna. So with the base, now if you're using Bobcat Miner, or if you're using an antenna with a wire, so if you're using SenseCap, the original SenseCap, you cannot do that. You need to place the helium hotspot against the window to perform that. And if there's sun, it might burn your helium hotspot. I'm doing this, I'm telling you this, if you're using an antenna like this, it has a cable. So I put this against the window. Let's assume this is a window, and I put a tape right here, and I remove the base so it's not on the way. And I have to make sure I put it up vertically, and I try to push it as much as I can to the top. So there are two ways to think about this. Either he's doing things ultimately good, or you're not doing it as ultimate as it should be. So, like I said, the higher the better. Again, do not put your helium hotspot against the window. You can if there's no sun coming into the window. But I assume that you're in Cayman Islands and it's pretty hot and nice, very warm. We're in Canada, it's pretty cold in here. Today is not bad, so I should not complain. Well, even if you have sense cap, you buy an external antenna. Now, the only thing I could recommend is you look at the RF signal regulations in your country. And you can do that by going to the sense cap, by the Discord main channel, go to Helium main channel official community, then go to sub-channels where you find your city or country or whatever, and then ask what is the maximum. Now you can buy, for the Cayman Islands, you can buy 4, 5, and 5.8 DPI would be pretty good. Notate, it's on a pole, okay? So you have it up there, no window. So you have it externally, and you have it, so it's external on a pole. Interesting. What DPI are you using? What's yours, Kevin? See, if we see the witnesses here, poor witness report. Okay, valid account, invalid account. So I have to wear my glasses. So invalid witnesses are 0, that's good. And valid witnesses are 10. You have more. You have more. So you have more witnesses. And look at Scruffy. You're making more than them. You're making 1.28. And the witnesses, see, you have invalid witnesses. Invalid witnesses, I know this is piss you off. Invalid witnesses will have a negative impact on you, although it's not your problem. Now, if you, Kevin, please do me this favor. If you go to your Helium app and click on your hotspot, click on the settings, and then update antenna. Put the antenna DPI number. So, Kevin, so this is not you, the scruffy. Oh, okay, though, this guy is your friend. Okay. Okay. So he's making double what you're making. And the witnessing, being witnessed, so he's being witnessed, and well, I'll have to look at the terrain, the topography of your city. See if the 10 DPI is making all this difference, things will be changed. But I would recommend that you do update your antenna on your Helium app. Very interesting. So all the resolutions are good with him. This is you, right? So you guys are the same. He has one extra valid witness than you are. And he has 4 invalid witnesses, which is not good for him. But yet he's doing double what you're doing. Interesting. This has me so puzzled. Are you using a good antenna? That's which one are you using? You're seeing 18 witnesses. It's telling me 10 here. Okay. Okay. The only thing that I can think of right now, 2 things: cable loss and internet speed. That's the only 2 things that can impact you. So remember that I need my router here, my Helium hotspot here, and my antenna here. The more distance I'm getting away from my Helium hotspot, there are losses that you have to counter. So if you have the antenna up to, I think, up to 10 feet cable, and you need to use the right cable. I think LMR 400 is the best. LMR, yes. So you're using LMR. 25 feet, you are encountering cable loss, because up to 10 feet, there is minimum loss. So there is loss in there. And what's the distance between your hotspot and your router? Is it Ethernet or is it wireless? So you have definitely cable loss with your 25 feet. Now we want to see if you have losses with your internet. Now you're being very jealous. It can't be extremely identical, but you're using Ethernet. So okay, so you don't have any losses. How long is your Ethernet? By the way, yesterday's I was helping this guy, like I talked in the beginning, and he connected it wirelessly, and things worked out because the Ethernet cable was not functional. 1 feet Ether cable. Hmm. Okay, so I cannot think of any other elements that can play with this game unless 1 feet cable. Yeah, so I would say that you have you used RF hotspotting. I have a video which I show exactly how to use it. It will show you the topography. Like I know that you know your city pretty well, and you're saying that you guys almost the same, but that cannot be the huge difference. If you was making 10 or 20%, I would say so, but on like 100%, that's annoying. I know. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure this out, but the cable loss you're saying he should be having the same. You're using a solid antenna. Um, the cable is 25 feet. You're using the LMR 400. So the pipeline is good. Your hotspot. Did you check your hotspot temperature? And which hotspot are you using? Are you using Bobcat Miner or Helium Hotspot or SenseCal or any other ones? If you guys coming in here, welcome. My name is Eddie. I'm trying to explain anything that you guys have questions about the Helium network, Helium hotspots, relayed, and all that stuff. Running around 50. Kevin, you're giving me a hard time. I'm trying to help you out. So you have no issues whatsoever. Yet, this guy, unfortunately, the Helium Explorer is not working. And my God, did it have to stop working today? Come on, work. Yes, finally worked. Let's check them out. Okay, so what was it? Yours? Long. Sorry, just give me a second. Okay, take your time. I hope you don't go and knock his antenna down. Yeah, that's better. So, guys, welcome. There are people new here. If you guys want me to cover anything in this live session, I'll be more than happy to do so. So, if you want to know anything about the Helium, the new updates coming, the new deal with SENET, it's a big IoT company. I can give you a recap on what we covered. Anything about helium or anything about crypto, I don't know everything about crypto, but I'm pretty good with this projects that make sense. Projects that are fishy and giving you free tokens for doing nothing, I don't like them, and I hope they related and stuff like BS. So I don't know what's on. So here we go. Theo, what was the Helium update? We have something called the Proof of Coverage version 11. The Proof of Coverage version 11, what you need to do from your side, it's coming actually in 10 days. It might be less than that, I'm not sure. What you need to do is actually put your actual DPI that you're using with your Helium hotspot. And you do that by going to the app Helium and click on your hotspot, then click on the settings, and then you can update your antenna and elevation. So you're going to need to do that. The reason you're going to do that because they're trying to fix issues with big antennas, because there are some government and countries regulations using RF signals. So especially in Europe, I don't think you're allowed to use more than 3 dpi, and you will be rewarded for what you deserve. So if you have in the POC10 version 10, they put the standard 1.2, and not a lot of people update that. So if you're sending a bigger signal because you're using a bigger signal, but you did not update that on the app, then you're giving more powerful signal. Now you can check the article here. If you go to Discord and go to Helium and go for POC and click on the pinned messages. If you guys don't know how to use the pinned messages in your mobile, you click on this little dude here, and it will open this page and will say pinned messages. So if you click here, so it's saying here, it's been discussed prior if you search, but basically anything overstock in EU would result in reduced power output. 9 dpi would be the max in the US, with no reduction in power output. So I'm not sure I qualify as a good person. And this guy, Tim from Long AP, he's just exactly saying what I'm saying, that the POC 10 was not fair for people that have bigger antennas. But although if you have already bought your bigger antenna and installed it, deployed it, then fine. If you live in Europe, then you will have, I don't think issues, but all you need to do is update your Helium app. And if you have a bigger antenna, and you live in Europe, I'm just saying, that if you live in Europe and you have a bigger antenna than 3 dpi, I think they will suppress the power of your antenna through Helium. Hi, Kevin. So that's the update. There's also an update on the Sunset. This is a new project that's signed with, did we take it? Here, announcing Helium roaming partnership with SENET to connect billions of IoT devices, which means that if you live in Manhattan, New York, then they'll be using your network and they'll be using your specific Helium hotspot. And this will create a new income to your Helium hotspot. So you have the proof of coverage, which is you're building this network. Once this is done, now there are devices that will be using this network. If these devices will be using your specific and passing under your coverage, then you will be rewarded for that. That's as simple as it is. And it's good news. It's very good news for the price of HMT for our project, the network. So those are the good news here. For Kevin, you're back. Did you go out and go knock out your friends or neighbors' cable and antenna, or I think you just did that? You kind of get fed up. You're like, I'm gonna knock it down. I hope you didn't know. That's just a joke. So if we go, yeah, I know. I tried to put yours and. Yeah. So this is yours, right? Yeah. So you're making 0.5, and your friend is it this guy here? Your lovely neighbor? I totally forgot. This is yours. I don't know, but he gets more rewards. Okay. Oh yeah, Scruff. Oh, I'll tell you why. Because of his center. Now look at you. Now centering is really important in this game. I don't know why. Don't ask me. I have no clue why it's done this way. But you get more rewards if you are in the center and you're connecting. It's like you're the middleman connecting everybody. Because if he wasn't here, just think about it. If he wasn't here, would it be this guy? It would not look symmetrical. So he's making this not perfectly symmetrical, but he's getting rewards for the connections. Yes, the hexes, but the location of your hex makes a difference. And if you've seen the spoofing that we did, I did a video on spoofing. Why did they do the spoofing? Because of the structure of the hexes. So they put one in the center and they put around it like a beautiful flower, and he's connecting to everyone symmetrical. This symmetrical design makes it perfect. The way things can change, by the way, because he's connecting. This is symmetrically. So if there are more, so for you, let me see what you. Come on, work. But I am not also. You have to look at the geospoofing. For you to understand how they look at the structure of the hexes. This is you have no control of. What can happen is the more hotspots that get deployed and the structure of these hexes change, you can be next, someone can be next. And by the way, one of the POC11, I forgot to mention this, they will drop the number of witnesses and they will do random witnessing. So it will be different. I cannot tell you what's going to happen because we don't know. The POC11 is just in theory is good. Once it gets deployed and we evaluate it, and then we see the impact on the project, on the network, and is it better than POC10 or not, or does it need some tweaking? So this is all new, but you need to anticipate a lot of things. There are a lot of people who will get more rewards, and people that are cheating will get less rewards. That's what they're trying to fix. So that's good news. This is not working. I'm waiting, but basically the POC11 will do random witnessing, and it will drop your numbers of witnesses from 25 to 10. How will this impact all of us? We have to test it out and see if it is going to work or not. I will get the hex beneath mine shortly. So you're getting another Bobcat hotspot. That's good. So this is you, and you're getting this one. I got this Explorer is doing some updates. So yes, the POC11 should change things, especially when it comes to random witnessing. The drop of number of witnesses, I don't know how that benefits all of us, but again, this is in theory, they think it's good. I think it's good, especially that they took off the SNR. Show us slow as crap today. Yeah. It's strange, man. What you guys also have to consider that for this network to hold over 50,000 hotspots being deployed in 1 month, and the numbers are just increasing. From a network perspective, this is huge. That it hasn't crashed. You know, this is not easy to do. In theory, it was easy, but in reality, because you haven't tested this out, you don't know if it's going to work. For them to maintain it and make it stand, kudos for all the IT teams and network teams in Helium. Yeah, I know the Explorer is very slow, so it's not going anywhere. Let's give it one more try. If you guys are watching here, my name is Eddie. Welcome to my channel. If you guys have any questions regarding the new updates, POC11, Relate, any questions at all, understanding this network, understanding what's the purpose, anything that you need to know about Helium, I'm here to help you. And finally, we got it. So yes, you're not as symmetrical as him, Kevin. You can see it's very obvious. Now, what they're saying in the POC11, just to let you know, so the distance from here to here, let me just measure the distance. I'll tell you what. So from here to here, oh no, 5.8 kilometers, that's fine. Yeah, if we look at this guy, his structure looks more nicer. The symmetrical. Now, with the random coming in, yes, Kevin, I don't see why not. What you should look at is what advantages can you bring into Cayman Islands that the Cayman Islands have a problem with. So I haven't been there. I know it's beautiful, but I know islands, they could have problems with flooding if they have forests. I don't know. I see there's like kind of forest fire, pollution, parkings. Be the first one to jump on this. You can provide the service for the government, depending on what biggest problem that Cayman Islands face, and bring the IoTs that solve that problem. And you can either sell them the device, or even better is sell them the package, the service package. Yeah, so I think parking is a big issue. So now you can set sensors. And by the way, if you guys don't know, you can go to helium.com and click on the ecosystem, and you're going to see all the companies that are working under the Helium, under Helium. So you're going to find the ones that are providing technologies and solution for parking. I've seen that. Medical also, yeah. So medical, I don't think you can get involved unless you just sell them the service. But what you can do is, when it comes to parking, you can sell them the service, not the devices. And you can do both, to be honest. But I like the service because you can have it for a long run. So you get subscription for monthly, yearly, and you get a service like once, versus like you sell them a device and you're done, right? Yeah, we are going to see a huge jump in this technology. I mean, we're expecting 75 billion IoT devices in the world by 2025, and that's 3 years from now. So it's the smart way of what to jump. I love your city because your island, because look, man, you have. It looks like you started this helium thing. I mean, there are very few there. But you can also, because it's a very tourist area, you can start doing the scooters. Scooters is booming here in Ottawa. It's a small city. It's the capital, but it's very wintry kind of thing. But it's booming and it's making a lot of money. Imagine if you have that service. Oh no, I was late, so it's already there, eh? Are the scooters using helium though? Because there's a difference between the scooters that are running now and the scooters that will be running on LoRaWAN. There's a huge difference. They're more expensive, the regular ones, and you need to kind of have a battery to recharge it, and you need a full team to do it, which is annoying. While the scooters LoRaWAN, you're not gonna need to charge it for, I don't know what, like days or weeks or probably months. So there's the actual charge of the scooter, and there's the charge of the SIM card, because they run by SIM cards. So it's a GSM. It's really, really expensive even to run it, and you need to charge that as well. Yeah, I mean, you can also check the Discord. There are some great ideas. Some people are coming with brilliant projects in terms of everything, really. Agricultural, pollution. I mean, the sky is the limit, to be honest. So, guys, if you have any more questions, I'd be more than happy to answer. I think I'll be doing more of these live just to help out the Discord technical team. And if you guys just tell me what time is this time perfect, or would you prefer something at night, like after 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? It's up to you guys. I'm quite flexible when it comes to this. I just want. I've been thinking about this for a while. If I educate as many people as we can, and we help and support each other's community, whenever there are new people coming, you would already have some answers, and you can help out, and we're all like as a community. I will stop monopolizing you now. No, it's okay, Kevin. It was very nice to meet you, man. It's actually very challenging. I'll be waiting till the 4th of October. I'll give it 2 more days, and I'll check your hotspot and your friend's hotspot, and I'll see if the new POC11 can change things for you, because randomizing witnesses might solve this issue. I would assume so. And deploying new ones here, I think would be it will change things. All right, guys. Do you guys want me to talk about anything? I have another 10 minutes. I'm trying to read the comments. So I'll talk about something on the side about the SEC. The SEC now in the US, I've been trying the one by your mouse. One by your mouse. Oh, okay, this one right here, or this one. Yeah, I guess this one, because you're not complaining. You're making 12 HNT. I don't know what's the best time. You guys pick. I'm going to have a Telegram group. I'll put it in the description. Or if you check my other, I don't know what it is. I forgot the name of the group. But I want to like go live where we can all talk and help each other instead of you watching an old outdated without you asking the right questions, right? So it's up to you. Yeah, complaining 12 HNT. Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, the first video I did about helium, I reviewed somebody in Berlin. He was making 10,000 HNT a month. Yes, believe it or not. But he had, I don't know what he had. He had probably the biggest tower or something. He connected all of Berlin. Yeah, so I don't think we missed the boat. Obviously, we missed the big launch, that's for sure. But like people complain, oh, we're not making that much. Well, even at 12 HNT, you're still making 375. That means you another 3-4 days and you're gonna break even. So it's not bad, to be honest, right? The Telegram group, I need to let me check it. I'll put it in the description here. Telegram. Okay, just give me a second, Kevin. Sorry for this. So I'm gonna put it in the. Where's the? I'm gonna put it in the comments here. Yeah, Kevin, it's send it to connect. So guys, let me see. I see people coming in and out. Let me see if you guys need anything. Is there anything that I can cover regarding helium or anything about crypto? Feel free to ask. 5 more minutes and for me to just take a break. Guys, I think nobody has any more questions here. So I just want to check on something. So guys, wish you all the best. Join the Discord if you have any specific questions. We can look at, and we'll be announcing whenever we go live there as well. And wish you all the best. My regards. My name is Eddie, and I was more than happy to talk to you guys. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you, Yes. Thanks, everyone. We'll be catching you probably before the launch of the POC11, so maybe in the next 4 or 5 days. And you're more than welcome, Kevin. Thank you all, guys, and we'll see you in the Telegram. Take care.